Hello, all you Good Life travelers. It's your favorite travel specialist, Chrissy, Michael, and you may not recognize the lady in the middle, but that's Tamara. She's new to the staff. No, just kidding. She just got back from Europe because she is our Europe travel specialist, and so you can't just study it and train it. You have to go experience it in order to best help our clients out, right?
Correct. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen.
Keep it clean, Tamara. Okay, she's been saying all these phrases in her fancy language, and Chrissy, our Spanish expert says "Hole," and I'm like, it's "Hola," Chrissy.
I can get hola. I get that.
We're very cultural in our offices here at the Good Life.
Culturated?
I'm not allowed to say that. We're very cultured here at the Good Life Travel Company. So
I said mujeres yesterday.
She did. She said the right. I said, Chrissy, can you repeat that one more time? I think you said it correctly.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you.
We've really come a long way in these 10 months as a travel agency, and Chrissy finally is starting to learn, the names of stuff,
I got it.
And you may notice that two of us are dressed appropriately. Chrissy has told herself today is going to be the mid-80s, so she is dressed for summer.
I was watching the news this morning, and they said beautiful, sunny, and 72. So I put on a short sleeve shirt.
She sells sunshine. That's her thing. She sells all-inclusive.
She needs to bring a little sunshine then, because it's a gloomy day out there.
It's pretty gloomy, but it did say sun and 72, so I'm hanging on as long as I can.
Good.
I don't blame you.
Well, the team is back together again, so it's good to be here and everyone's favorite day of the week, Travel Talk Tuesday. So we do have some treats because today we are talking, we're going to hear all about, it's story time. We're going to hear all about Tamara's trips because Europe is a hot place for travel right now, right?
Oh boy, was it busy.
Crazy busy. Her experiences, the calls that we're booking and stuff are crazy. We just had 2 back-to-back Sunday bridal shows, right? So Chris and I talked about 2 weeks ago about the bridal show in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And then these two ladies had a bridal show here in Sandusky. How was it?
It was good. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful venue.
Was. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, it was a nice show.
Lovely brides.
I was at home and painting while these two were working hard, and they were sending me pictures of all the good food that they had. So
mimosas.
Yeah, we had mimosas.
Got us some mimosas.
Well,
you told me it was orange juice.
Well, I went over for a coffee and I saw the bar and I said, "Is that free?" She said,
I don't believe any of that story. That Chrissy stumbled upon a bar. I don't believe that.
She's like, "Yes, it's all free." I'm like, "Ooh, set us up." So we had a mimosa. It was a good start to the day.
It helped.
Yeah, I got text. You missed the wrong bridal show to attend, but that's good. And so hopefully you guys, you met a lot of brides talking about their honeymoons.
Yeah, it was nice to be local.
And so they had a scavenger hunt as part of this thing, right? So at each booth had something different as part of the scavenger hunt. Ours had where they had hold up a sign saying, "My dream honeymoon is." So you guys learned all the hot spots. Yep. Where's everyone from Sandusky wanting to go?
It was all over the place.
A lot of Ireland.
Yeah. Some Italy, a Virgin Voyage.
Yep.
Yeah. It was.
And
really
there was, of course, that the handful of tropical and beach. So, but I thought we had a lot of Ireland.
Yeah.
So it's good that today we are talking about Europe then.
Yes.
Yeah. Popular place. We know from 2 weeks ago that was another hot place too. We went through almost all the booklets then. Yeah. So Tamara's going to be pretty busy now that she's back,
Bring it on.
Slinging the travel, right?
Slinging
travel. So that's good. We are going to talk about a trip, but as Tamara's sharing good stories, she brought back some treats. So she knows that Christy and I get a little hangry in the morning, especially during travel talk. So her dining room table's full of treats, and we've been munching stuff all week.
Yes.
Jenny Craig is not happy.
No.
But for today, while Tamara's talking about her experiences, Christy and I are going to enjoy some handmade Greek delight baklavas.
Yeah, it's not the same as like real baklava there.
Don't ruin it for us.
It's still good. I got a piece of baklava at a little cafe. Guess how much it was? And I love baklava. €17 for a piece of baklava and a cup of coffee. Yeah, I think.
What was in it? Like gold or something?
No, like a lot of walnuts, but it was delicious. But €17. Yeah, I didn't bring you back the expensive stuff.
Cheap, man. Yeah, we know. Okay, so all right. So Chris and I are gonna be enjoying some baklava. We're also gonna be enjoying some speculatius. I sound like Chrissy now. Speculatius. This is what we're gonna be enjoying.
You pronouncing that very well.
What is that? Is that German?
Cookies. Yeah, they're German. Little bakery in Munich is where I picked that up.
I don't know German, so that's why I can butcher it. It is vegan, though.
We actually have a quiz about that at the end of the show today.
I'm going to preface today's show by saying I made a big mistake, and I told Tamara this show is all about her and a trip, and there's no rules. So she's been coming up with all this goofy stuff. So at least Christy and I'll get to eat while Tamara's talking about where these foods came from. So today, all about the trip. I kind of divided your trip in my head into 3 parts. Hopefully you agree with that. Okay, so the first part is you flew over to Italy.
Yep.
You did Italy, and then you went a little bit over into...
Istria, which is a peninsula that's made out of Italy, Slovenia, and Croatia.
Wow.
So they have baklava there. So while you're talking, we're going to munch on that. So first off, everyone, why do you pick Italy? Because it's an awesome country, great food.
Yeah, it is.
What made you pick Istria in this first part?
So my oldest child had been to Istria before, and we our cruise. We ended up on a cruise. Our cruise.
Don't be jumping ahead to part 2.
That's why I ended up in Istria. So our cruise technically was supposed to depart out of Venice, but Venice is a big area. So actually, our cruise left out of a city called Trieste, which is in about an hour and a half from Venice, which is in Istria, which is a peninsula made up of those 3 countries. To me, and my oldest child had been to Istria, and he has told me many times I needed to go there. So that was a reason I flew into Rome for a few days, and then flew to Trieste, grabbed a car in Trieste, and explored Istria, it's fascinating. It's been occupied by the Romans, by the Venetians, by the French. I mean, there's all sorts of influences in that area, and there's all sorts of evidence of those cultures still being there, and it's sort of undiscovered by big tourism.
That's what I was wondering. Were they able to keep any of their own sense of culture, or was it just dominated by whoever owned them, pretty much?
There you can see like the Venetian influence. So you see like the winged lion. Oh, you're not gonna. Oh, Chrissy's got one. The winged lion is on things, which that's the mark of Venice, and you can see like French balconies there. They've been occupied by different cultures throughout time, but what I loved about it is that it wasn't like some cities are just about tourism now. Like I feel like that about Venice. Like I don't know that real Venetians really live in Venice anymore, but real people lived in these towns that I visited, and they were gorgeous. I didn't make it all the way to a town called Pula, which is in the southern part of Istria in Croatia, but there's a giant coliseum there that rivals the one in Rome. But you never hear about it because it's not a touristy place, but it's a giant Roman coliseum, thousands of years old, that's still there. So Istria is a place I'd like to go back and explore because it was really cool.
Okay. And what about favorite highlights from Italy then? You said you were in Rome and Venice.
Oh gosh, yeah. So I was in Rome. Yeah, it's hard to pick. Rome, I had actually never been to Rome before, and I would love to go back. It is it exceeded my expectations really of what I like to do there.
Because it's a little touristy, and you don't like touristy.
It is a little touristy. I tried to avoid the touristy stuff, but it was kind of hard to do because there is a lot of tourism there. But I took a lot of I joined a lot of groups and did excursions. So we had walking tours of areas. Probably my favorite part was I took a nighttime tour. So a van picked me up at my hotel. I joined.
Wait a minute.
I know.
Tamara, I wouldn't recommend this for other ladies traveling alone.
No windows, leave the door open.
They had some candy out the window.
And I was with 1 Canadian and 5 other Americans, which, I mean, yeah. And our guide spoke English very well, and she drove us around Rome, and we got to see the highlights at night. We stopped and had dinner somewhere, it was great to just talk to other travelers, and it was fun. We had a really, really good time. So
that's one of your highlights?
Yeah, that was one of my highlights of Rome. But Rome is beautiful. You
saw St. Peter's?
I saw St. Peter's. I took a garden tour of the Vatican, which was interesting. St. Peter's was amazing. Yeah, I've seen a lot of churches in Europe, and it was pretty awesome.
The pictures don't do it justice. It doesn't look like it's, that big. And I mean, we were talking, and you could fit 2.5 Statue of Liberties underneath the dome in there. Yeah. I mean, so it's just so big. And the letters are 6 foot high that are up on the high. I mean, it's...
And the art, it's overwhelming how much art there is, not just in the Vatican, but everywhere in Rome. Mm-hmm. When I was driving around with the nighttime guide, she was talking about, we would just pass a nondescript door, and she'd be like, inside of there is a Michelangelo that's totally underappreciated, but it's near your hotel. You should go there. And I'd be like, oh gosh, like there's so much to see.
Oh.
It was a really cool city. I can't wait to go back.
Did you see the cat cemetery? There's like a cemetery where cats have taken over. It's almost like a cat city.
I saw a lot of cats. In fact, I could do a whole post on the cats of Europe for Chrissy.
Yay!
Yeah, lots and lots of cats.
Very
random dogs.
exciting. Very exciting.
What'd you do this summer? Went to Rome to see some cats.
All right, Brett, start selling some more because Chrissy wants to go now.
But Rome was lovely.
Good food?
Very good food. Yeah, I'm a fan of cacio e pepe now, which is pasta with Parmesan cheese and maybe a little butter and pepper. Mm-hmm. Very simple, but very, very good.
Very authentic. I mean, that's
yeah.
That and the carbonara, they're like the big two for Rome. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the homemade pasta. Oh.
There's a lot more to explore in Rome, and it's definitely high on my list of places to go back. I really didn't get to shop there either, which I really wanted to kind of shop in Rome too. Didn't happen, so I missed a whole day of flight. It was a mess.
Don't get her started on the flights.
Yeah. Flying is not fun right now at all. But
so if you can imagine 3 travel agents trying to straighten out your flights and still struggling, and we still struggled. I mean, it was
right before I was supposed to leave my house to go to the airport. I got a notification that my flight was canceled, and so these two, as I was getting my stuff ready to go, were looking for alternatives for me. I got there eventually, but I missed a whole day, which was disappointing.
I have to say, I don't know why people would want to book their own travel and deal with all that stuff. I mean, that's our job. I mean, I don't like doing it, but that's our job, so we deal with it. So, I mean, that's a lot of work. A lot of phone calls, a lot of hold time.
And it happened on the other end coming home, too. Mm-hmm. So it was a mess. But it was worth the mess to have that experience in Europe, because I had a great time. Yeah. I really did. I'm anxious to go back.
Yeah, I love it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's part 1 of the trip. Anything else you want to say about part
Venice. Venice. Okay, so I met...
gunk on my hands.
You got honey?
I should have brought napkins because I kind of want to lick my finger, but I don't think that would look good on the camera.
That'd be gross, too. So I met some friends in Venice, and we spent an evening there, and then we traveled back to Trieste to start our cruise. Venice, oh gosh, I just love Venice. It's just, there's no place like it. It's just so beautiful, and sadly it was raining when we were there almost the whole time we were there. But we met some local people in Venice, shop owners, restaurant owners, and they were just so delightful. We were walking back to our hotel at night, kind of looking for a place to have something to eat, because we had eaten dinner at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like an American, and it was 9 o'clock. We're hungry again.
It snows.
Yeah. So we walked past a little bar and a little cafe, and the owner was outside, and he blew me a kiss and said, come on in and have some pizza with us. So we did, and then he brought us shots of limoncello.
Oh!
And then we ended up going
now Chris is awake.
So they worked very hard. He said, COVID was really difficult for him to get through, but he and his brother run this restaurant. They made it through. They were delightful.
Oh, sweet.
Luca
it's nice
and
meeting the culture, the people.
Yeah.
Meeting people are the
that's
best.
my favorite part of travel is meeting local people. It really is. So, okay, so then I gathered my friends. We drove back to Trieste and jumped on a cruise ship.
Wait a minute. Part 2. New snack. Okay. All right, go ahead. I'm going to eat the spurgolina too, yes. Okay, go ahead.
So our cruise ship was the Norwegian Gem, and I have never cruised Norwegian before. Mm-hmm. I liked it. What I like about Norwegian is that they have that freestyle cruising, so you can kind of do your thing. You don't have to get dressed up for dinner, which I don't like to pack. I mean,
a gown.
Yeah, I don't want to pack fancy clothes just to have dinner with my friends in a restaurant. I don't mind packing nice clothes, but I don't. When you pack and you have one suitcase for 16 days, you have to kind of be strategic about what you're packing. Yeah. So,
they started that freestyle cruising a while ago.
Yeah.
One of the first. I mean, everyone else is kind of catch up now, but they were one of the first to do that whole idea of freestyle.
And I liked not having to have times to eat in the restaurant. You can kind of do what you want when you want to do it. I would say that the
little windmills. I'm not offering you because you got to be talking.
I'm talking. The age demographic was a little older than what I'm used to on cruise ships. Just a handful of kids, not a lot of kids' activities.
You're in school time.
Yeah, but I didn't even really see any kids. I don't even know if they have a kids club. They may have had a kids club.
They
probably
do.
Did. Yeah, they probably did.
And they have kids programming, but
the kids were invisible on that.
That's good.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. I liked it. So the goal was to stop at Kotor, Montenegro, our first day, which we had a rough day and they canceled that excursion or that port because the weather was bad. Kotor it's kind of like a fjord. You have to kind of go up into the land before you get to that city. That was my number one place I wanted to visit. So now I got to go back, but it was okay. The ship scrambled and we had a really fun day. We did a wine and chocolate.
Did you at sea that day, or did they find that port?
No, we did at sea, and kudos to the crew because they found things for us to do really fast, and we had a really nice day. It was 3 ladies, and we did. I think we did a dance party. You would have excelled at it.
It can be disappointing when you have those ports that you're looking forward to, and then you don't get to. And it happens.
It does, and it was no fault of the cruise line. I was very disappointed, as I think a lot of people were too. But the weather really was not good. And
they usually make that decision for everyone's safety.
Yes,
not because they want a day not have to port, but it's for everyone's safety.
Right. My excursion that day was to go to a historic town and to a rug factory. I know you can make fun of me.
Oh, that's so you.
It's me.
Ooh,
I wanted to watch
a rug factory. Wait, what kind of rug?
Not toupees.
Okay, just curious. I needed a clarification.
No. So now it's on my list. I think it was, I don't remember the name of it, Budka, maybe. Anyway, so the next day we ended up in Santorini.
Oh.
No, we didn't. We ended up in Corfu.
Oh, live.
We lied.
Corfu, Greece. Still raining that day, but we at least were able to dock. So that day I did another excursion where we traveled around the island a little bit. Which what I find fascinating on these islands is there's so much history. So you'll be driving down and you'll see like a Roman ruin that they're excavating, and you can see like a beautiful tile floor that has been buried for hundreds of years that they're just now uncovering. So little excavation areas all over the island. Then we ended up at a castle where Prince Philip, who was married to Queen Elizabeth, was born because he was a Greek prince.
Oh,
so we toured that castle.
I don't follow all that stuff, so I don't know.
And then we ended up back in the old town of Corfu, and the sun came out then, and I was able to walk around and shop and just enjoy the local culture. Beautiful island. And then the next day we ended up in Santorini, Greece. So my travel partners, that was one of the things, one of them that was on her bucket list she really wanted to see.
It's on a lot of people's bucket list.
Yeah.
The white buildings with the blue domes and stuff.
Yeah.
The hills and mountains, yeah.
Yeah, so we did an excursion there. It's a little bit of a challenge to get onto the island because you have to tender. So your ship stays away from the island, and then you have little boats that take you to the island. But in Santorini, the towns are up on the cliff. So you have to either walk up almost 600
Which no
stairs.
one walks.
Well, yeah, donkeys walk up. They have donkeys that go up and down taking people. Some crazy people walk. Or you can take a gondola ride up to the top, which is what we did.
We did the bus.
We didn't have that option. You must have gone to a different port.
I don't know.
We went to the town of Fira, but it took probably an hour and a half for us to wait in line to get up the thing, which that was not fun.
Oh, you could have driven, less than
there was
that.
no. I looked at a map last night because you mentioned that, and there was no way to get up other than walking or taking that sky ride gondola thing. So we got up to the top, and then we had to walk quite a ways to get to our bus. They took us to a winery, which was nice. We enjoyed some local wines and cheeses, and then we went to the town of Ia, which was beautiful, but very, very crowded. Very crowded.
You love your crowds.
I don't like crowds. I don't like being herded with people through narrow streets, and you can't really see anything because you just are walking forward. I did not like the crowds on Santorini. In fact, I fell in Fira.
It's not really a trip until Tamar falls.
Stand up my knee, my phone went flying.
Every trip.
Yeah. But,
remember Puerto Rico?
Oh gosh,
they went through a whole box of Band-Aids on that fall.
I know.
And she was sober, I think.
I was sober there too.
We just checked in.
So anyways, we did. Yeah, we had dinner there, which I love Greek food. I had forgotten how much I love Greek food. Tzatziki is the bomb. Yeah, feta cheese, tzatziki, like a rosemary and lemon chicken, all that stuff. We had. I can't think of it. They call it Greek lasagna. It'll come to me.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I knew it, but I can't remember it. But anyways, we just petite pasticcio
with the lamb in it.
Yeah, we just ordered. We had like 25 minutes, and we told the server, bring us whatever you can make fast. So he did. We got in and out in 25 minutes. We were just like tasting Greek meatballs. It was delicious. Back to Santorini to watch the sunset, which was gorgeous, and then we took off. You sail overnight, you wake up in a new port. So the next morning we were in Mykonos, which I really liked. I really liked it more than I thought. But I had a very, very early morning excursion. I think we left at 7:15 a.m. We headed to a different island called Delos. And that is an island that was it was a city, 1,000 plus years ago, many, many years ago, maybe 2,000 years ago. And it had been abandoned. It had been, wars and pirates everybody had left. But was the birthplace of Apollo. And, just really, like, think Pompeii, but not as touristy as Pompeii. But it's an entire island that's being excavated. So it really was very interesting. We had a guide who took us through, and you'd see, like, a rich man's house, and you could see the mosaic tile floor still there. There were cats that were frolicking on it. I think I sent you a video.
You did.
Yeah. And then you walked on the narrow streets and you see like little niches inside of the walls, and that's where they would put like oil lamps so that you could see at night as you're walking through. Oh. But really, it just, I'll put pictures on Facebook, a fascinating place. So I headed back to Mykonos maybe around noon, joined my travel companions, and we walked and shopped and ate our way through Mykonos, which was a lot of fun. We really had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything you didn't like about that?
About Mykonos?
Yeah.
I don't like the crowds. Okay. There were crowds, and I don't like touristy restaurants. It was a little hard to find something that wasn't super touristy. Yeah. But it's a beautiful town. It really is. I would go back there for sure, but it was touristy. But fun still. Sometimes, I guess sometimes I gotta just suck it up and do the touristy thing. But some people on our ship, we met many interesting people on our journey. I had taken like Ubers and cabs to various beaches. I guess there's a bunch of nice beaches on Mykonos where celebrities go and hang out. There's quite a nightlife on Mykonos. We weren't there for that, but someday maybe go back. I think the next day was at sea, and then our final day was in Dubrovnik, Croatia, which another very interesting town, very, very old, had been damaged by wars, but another early morning call, 7:15 I think, which was nice because you got to go to the old town, which there's a walled city. There's a walled city, so it was fun to explore, but there weren't a lot of people there by the time we got there, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. So we got to explore it without crowds. A lot of Game of Thrones places. I don't watch Game of Thrones, but there's a lot of Game of Thrones.
Is that a game?
It's a show.
That show.
I don't watch it.
King of the North. I don't watch it.
Yeah, well, for you Game of
Thrones
Thrones
I know it's
fans,
very extremely popular.
Is it a reality show?
No, it's that one on HBO with like
I don't have HBO.
Jon Snow, the King of the North. Yeah.
I live a simple life.
There were souvenir shops for Game of Thrones things. So yeah. So after we left Dubrovnik, which was a great place to visit, but it was raining, so that kind of took away from it. We went to
a theme.
Yeah. We went to another. Yeah, it gets worse. We went to another, the oldest town in Croatia, which is the seaside village, and there was a little church there that was called Our Lady of the Snows. Which I thought of you, and there were cats outside of it too. Yeah.
Meant to be.
And then,
I'm not gonna say anything. Okay.
So then we traveled to one of my favorite places in the whole trip. We went to a farm it took about an hour to get there in the countryside of Croatia, and it was a family who's had this farm for over 400 years, and for the first time it's being run by a female. And it's definitely still a family operation. So we got there and they had prosciutto and bread and cheese and olives and wine for us, all made by the family. So Grandma made the bread and the cheese. Grandpa did the prosciutto. And I don't know who made the wine, but we enjoyed that. And then we went and sampled some of their liqueurs, and they were really good. They had a sage liqueur. Not so good.
Wait a minute. I think I have some. Oh, no. Tamara didn't share that with us. That's not on my little spread over here that we have.
They're on the table. Go get them.
I don't want to leave. I don't want to ruin this
some
beautiful shot.
Walnut liqueur and some cherry liqueur. We can have it after this. Yeah.
Nighty-night.
Well, it's been fun watching with everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
And so but as you travel, our tour guide really explained some political things and how they were involved in a war as early as or as recent as the 1990s, and how people in the countryside had to flee to the cities to be protected. And we drove through and we saw evidence of that war. So it was a war not very long ago.
Yeah. This is Croatia.
Yeah, and another area that's
all the Balkans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember that.
My dad was over there.
It's been fought over for many years. Romans, Venetians, Napoleon was there. So it's, they're all kind of fighting in there for many, many years. But that's a recent war. So that was the end of the cruise. It was a fun cruise.
Okay, Mediterranean cruises are very popular. We're going to do one in 2024 in a group. Overall, you recommend a Mediterranean cruise?
I do, yeah.
A lot of options out there, a lot of different cruise lines.
Yeah.
Good experience with Norwegian. You recommend Norwegian?
I did like Norwegian, yeah.
That's more the mass market or resort style cruise ships. They tend to be. So a good experience. We sell a lot of Norwegian. We've sold a number of groups on there. They're great for groups, families, and all that good stuff.
They have some suites on those ships that look really nice.
They do.
Too. Yeah.
They do.
One of them has a bathtub in front of a window that you can. I know.
I don't want to lead people to lust, so I will not be getting that started. But they do. They have a good product, Norwegian. They have a lot of faithful followers that love
I
their.
thought the food was okay, and I thought the entertainment was better than I expected, honestly. So it was fun. The crew did an outstanding job.
I have to. How was the Wi-Fi?
Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it worked for the most part. It worked almost every time I used it.
That's becoming like the heated competition now. These ships, they've all one-upped each other on what they can do on the ship. The next thing is, how do you get the best Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it was not bad.
Yeah, because one of them's going to work with Elon Musk, and they're getting the big satellite.
Skylink or whatever.
Yeah, and they're shipping. I mean, everyone's kind of, how do you get better internet and trying to do better than each other. Just curious.
Expensive. I don't like that. I don't like paying for Wi-Fi.
You're on vacation. Why is that so important?
But you almost have to use your phone now for the
apps and stuff. That's right.
Yeah. I work on vacation, and I still travel.
I worked too. It was hard to sneak it in. I was tired.
I'm still frustrated with a previous company that couldn't get me Wi-Fi that worked, but okay, good. That's a different story. All right, so that's part 2, which sounded fun. Recommend it?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we need to stretch, have a cherry liqueur. And let's go on to part 3, which this is the part Chrissy's been looking forward to the most, and that is Oktoberfest. So tell us all about it.
So I left Trieste and jumped on drove to Ljubljana, Slovenia with the guide. Easy to get there. And then flew to Munich, Germany for Oktoberfest, which has been on my bucket list for a very, very long time. And I'm so glad I went. It was just so much fun. So, get there, of course, it's raining. And, but I'm like, not going to stop me. I'm going. So, I figured out how to navigate the subway system and took the subway from my hotel to the Oktoberfest grounds, which used to be in the country once upon a time, but now they're in the city. So, as I'm walking, you see everybody in their Trachten, which is lederhosen and dirndls for the ladies, and there's just excitement building up, and you get there, and you're like, oh my gosh. The best way to describe it is like a big state fair. So there's a midway, there's 2 midways. One has lots of rides. The rides, some are new, many are old historic rides, and I put some on Facebook. Oh no, they're fun.
How much duct tape can it really be to hold an old ride together?
Yeah. And then there is a midway with lots of large tents, beer halls, and then I think there's 17 large tents and 20 small tents. Now, those large tents can seat up to 10,000 people.
Wow.
And so if you add up all the seats in Oktoberfest, and the only place you can get beer is in a tent. Like I got there and I'm like, I didn't have reservations for a tent. I really wanted a beer. But you couldn't get a beer unless you were in a tent. And I couldn't get into a tent because I didn't have a reservation. Because I knew I was going back the next day.
Is that a COVID thing with the reservation? Or is that how it always is?
No, it always is. So, But so I walked around in the rain, and then there's a section of Oktoberfest that has Oktoberfest is free to get in, but there's a section called the Odowiesen, which is old Oktoberfest, and it's a separate section with a €4 entrance fee where they have a beer hall and like traditional things in there. So traditional rides, a traditional tent with traditional music. Like in the other tents, you could hear them playing American music. I heard them do the YMCA. Sweet
in
Caroline. German? They sang it in English. Yeah.
What, a polka band?
Very impressive.
A polka, yeah, like a lot of American songs in English. It was like Que Sera Sera. Yeah. But they really got into it. So anyways, I walked into the traditional tent, and I didn't have a reservation. Really didn't know what to do when I walked in there. I just wanted a beer. So I walked around once and just kind of took pictures and took the lay of the land. And then a security guard kind of pushed me, and he's like, "Just go, find a seat." So I found a table of a lovely German family and friends who were like, "Come sit with us," and I had the best time with them. They taught me how to do all the German songs. They gave me a lecture on how to drive in Germany. I'm never supposed to go in the left lane. I'm only supposed to stay in the middle lane. Like that. They went over and over that with me. And I wasn't even driving this trip. Just so much fun. I stayed late there, but
and we saw video and pictures.
Yeah,
I think I remember texts that evening too. They were very confusing to me.
Oh no, I don't know if I remember those.
Wait, what do you want us to do? I don't understand.
Oh no.
Pay raise? What? Okay.
So the next day, I actually had a group I was joining to go through the history of Oktoberfest as we walked around Oktoberfest, and then go into one of the large tents. So we went to the Schattenhamel tent, and gosh, just so much fun. I didn't want to leave. It was just, it fulfilled every Oktoberfest dream I ever had.
Aww.
So when I was done doing that, I know, it really has been a bucket list thing for me. So when I was done with that, I had talked to my guide about how do I get into one of the tents if I don't have a reservation? And she's like, just walk in like you know what you're doing. So that's what I did. So I walked up and down the midway, went into all the tents, and acted like I knew what I was doing. And I took pictures and videos and enjoyed the music. And gosh, it was so much fun.
That's
so
awesome.
much fun. Had some great food and met a lot of really cool people. And I really would love to go with the group again back to Munich someday.
Well, I was hoping was going to be our breaking news that we're going to hopefully get a group together, and we're going to do Travel Talk Tuesday from the motherland, and in our
lederhosen. Would you wear lederhosen?
I don't know.
They're expensive. So the next day, I had a whole day of things to do. I had a morning walking tour, which was really long. It was 5 hours long. Small group of people. There were 5 people and all Americans. And a great tour guide from Munich who, we'd walk and talk and he'd teach us, and then he'd be like, okay, let's go have a beer. And we'd go into, a local beer hall and get a beer, and then we'd talk about politics or religion. And it was great to get a different perspective on things, like World War II. So that was all morning we did that. And then I actually had to leave that tour a little early to go catch my next tour, which was a food tour of the Victualian Market, which is their outdoor market. That was fun too. It was great to learn about the different things they like to eat, and it was a lot of fun. So then when that was over, I had just a little bit of time, so I walked around and I popped into a department store, which I love to do. I love to go into grocery stores and department stores when I'm in Europe, and floor 4 of this department store was nothing but Trachten. So lederhosen and dirndls. Oh. And yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. People really wear that. And if you get into the other areas of Bavaria, you will actually see people wearing the Trachten. Wow. It's not just for...
to work?
Yeah. You'll see guys with the hats and the jackets in particular. Mm-hmm. And the ladies with the dresses. But... yeah, the whole floor was nothing but Trachten, so I took pictures. Now,
maybe you should have worn that for our show today, Tamar.
I did not buy one.
That's surprising.
They're a little pricey. It'd be nothing for $400 or $500 for a dirndl.
Wow. But can you imagine picturing us on this with you and like the little thing with the little thing on, that'd be great.
So tempting. Next time. But the later
Ubenhagen.
later hosen are made out of deer skin, and guess how much I saw one hanging in a rack. Guess how much? Did I tell you already?
You showed pictures and it was like $1,300, wasn't it?
It was $1,100. Euro. The dollar's stronger right now than the euro, but still, that's like
not that strong.
Yeah, like $1,100.
Deer's gonna be a little rough, wouldn't it? Like
I don't
want to change it.
They get soft.
Yeah.
They're treated and they get the more you wear them, the softer they become. So that was my adventure.
Yay!
Fun,
awesome trip.
Yeah, I actually have a little bit of trivia for you guys. A little competition.
I can hardly express my excitement.
Pit us against each other. So quickly,
oh no!
I'm going to ask you some questions about Oktoberfest in Munich, and I'm going to start with Chrissy. And we're going to keep score, and the winner gets a shot of liqueur.
Well, I don't see either of us doing well in this.
I don't know.
I'm seeing a tie, 0-0.
Okay, so Chrissy, what is München?
Munich.
Very good.
That's an easy one.
Michael, Munich is the capital of what German state?
I don't know, East Germany, I don't know. I don't even know they had states.
Bavaria.
She said that earlier.
Chrissy.
I was thinking about the food.
What did the original Oktoberfest celebrate?
It's a wedding. A wedding.
Yeah.
Now, I was out of the office briefly this morning, and I have a hunch that
I think
there
it
was some
was
cheating going on here.
King Ludwig the First wedding.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes. So when King Ludwig the First
I called, if Chrissy pronounced it correctly, knew that. I don't think any of this is legit.
Of course it is.
Your turn.
Yeah. So when King Ludwig the First got married in the early 1800s, he and his
Chrissy
wife
should tell the story. She obviously knows it.
threw a party, like a wedding reception.
It was his wedding reception.
In the Theresa Wiesen.
What did they serve, Chrissy?
Bratwurst.
And pretzels with nacho cheese dipping.
So Oktoberfest is still to this day held in the Theresa Wiesen, which is Teresa's field. Teresa was the wife of King Ludwig.
That's what I was going to say.
And it's really, Oktoberfest is an anniversary party every year celebrating that marriage. Good job, Chrissy. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Michael, how many breweries are there in Munich?
Oh.
Well, I think Chrissy probably knows the answer.
I don't.
746.
And
23.
There's only 6.
I was going to say, it's probably a small number.
There, so in order to be an official brewery in Munich, you have to source your water from Munich. And there's a very limited number. So there's one more that they're trying to bring on right now. They're looking for the water source.
Budweiser?
No. No.
Aren't they owned by a German company now?
And in order to have a tent at Oktoberfest, you have to be one of those brewers. So there are breweries that have multiple tents. So and an interesting thing about those tents is that they are temporary. So they have 10 weeks to put them up, and then they have a few weeks to take them down, and then they disappear until next year. But I mean, that's a lot of work. Those are big tents with kitchens and bathrooms and
not as much work as the bridal show set up in
Cleveland. Okay, a couple more.
True.
Christy, how many large beer tents are there?
She did say this.
17.
Very good. I'm so proud of you. Michael, what do Munich residents call Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest.
The Wiesen. Or the Wies. Yeah, the Wiesen.
Duh.
Sorry, you missed that one. Chrissy,
yes.
What is the beer served in, and how much is in
a
that?
Stein. It's a liter. These are easy. She gets the easy ones. How many Ludwigs are there in Germany, Michael? I don't know.
Chrissy, do you have the answer to that?
Yes, it is a Stein, and it holds 1 liter.
And what do they call that Stein?
A Mass.
Very good. Okay. Michael, last one. I'm sorry you've already lost. But how many liters of beer were consumed in 2018?
2 million. 2 billion.
7.5 million liters.
Wow.
That was my second guess.
I know. And Oktoberfest only lasts 16 to 17 days. So that's
that was fun. Yeah. Okay. We're going to move on.
Chrissy, congrats.
Thank you.
We are going to now move on. I have lost control of the show and I don't like it.
You never had control.
We're going to refocus and we're now going to focus on us and the Good Life Travel Company. Okay? Upcoming trips, my favorite part, because I like to push my fun cruises. Don't forget about our winter escape, snow escape, Southern Caribbean, March, fun, good deal, perks. All right? Don't forget about Alaska. We have in next June. Going to see a lot of Mother Nature with whales and bears and
fun.
Whatever that nature is. We're going to see a lot of that stuff. The icebergs, not hit them, but icebergs. A lot of included, a good price. We have a few spots, so join us in that. Yay. And then Hawaii next October. I may not be able to go to Oktoberfest because that's
September.
next. Oh, okay. So next October is the cruise around Hawaii. Got a lot of interest in that, so join us for that. Good price, a lot of perks, Norwegian, and it'll be a good time. So that's the upcoming trips that I know of. You got anything else?
Nope.
Any big news in your specific niche? Any fun trips? Anything you want to share?
Well, I think due to our last 2 weekends of working the bridal show, lots of honeymoons, some bachelorette parties. It's just spring trips coming up. I've got a couple people going for the holidays to warmer weather. So, it's been busy.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Tamara, you got any updates?
I got a call about a trip to Munich and Italy.
Oh, so your experience, that's good.
Yeah.
And if they need to know any details, have them come to me because
Oh yeah, Chrissy's an expert in
I'm an
Oktoberfest.
expert on
Munich.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I am
Just saying
done with these broads.
I'm really impressed.
I'm going home for the day. I'm done. This is
It really bothers
persecution.
you, doesn't it?
You guys cheated. There's no
did
way,
not.
Chrissy.
No.
I had to teach her how to say Mexico. Okay, I don't believe she knew Ludwig and all that
You
stuff.
didn't
Maybe a
teach me how to-
Stein. She knew what a Stein was,
Only
obviously.
cenote you had to teach me how to say. I thought it was C-note.
Oh, I love our office.
So I've been busy working with these two because it's very draining. Doing a lot in industry news. Everything's been lifted, so a lot more availability for all those non-vaccinated individuals. A lot of them, cruise lines are not requiring the pre-cruise testing anymore for them. So a lot of availability there. Working on groups. Have a number of groups that are self-planning. So, we have our set groups that we think will be fun, like an Oktoberfest or a cruise. But then we have people that want to start their own group, whether it's for a family getaway, like we have in January, going to the Caribbean. Whether we have someone that's celebrating like a big birthday and they want to do a cruise with friends, we can do those. Cruises are great opportunities, easy for a group to do at a good price, lots of perks, so a good way to celebrate a milestone. So working on some of those as well. So that's all I've got. Anything else?
Oh, I have a destination wedding I've been researching. 2 of them. So
where?
Don't forget that. One would like to be probably southern Florida on a New Year's Eve. And then the other one is looking in Cancun.
So you can do destination weddings in the U.S.?
Yes. Just wouldn't be an all-inclusive. But yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So if you're looking to get away for your wedding, or a little, whether it's an elope style, something small and simple, or whether you want a big shindig, reach out to Chrissy. She'll take good care of you. Good. Anything else you want to add? Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted and bloated. Bloated from all this baklava and spika whatever that were very delicious. I highly recommend them. And exhausted from hearing them cheat. And it was not fun. Very hurtful. And I'm going to have to go cope. Okay, so thank you all for watching another episode of our Travel Talk Tuesday. As always, if you'd like to hear more about these trips, learn about these trips, or get a trip book for yourself, call us 1-855-LIVE-TGL, or follow us on social media, email us, whatever. We will make sure that you can go and live the good life while on a vacation, travel experience, whatever it is you're looking for, we'll get you there. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.